I call to order the April 18th, 2017 meeting of the Arvada Planning Commission. Ms. Brown, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Brandon Caswell. T.O. Owens.
Here.
David Goff.
Present.
John Kraus.
Here.
Patricia Connell.
Here.
Steve Hannon.
Here. I move to excuse Ms. Caswell. Commissioners, would you please cast a vote? All in favor, Ms. Caswell is excused. The minutes of the April 4th, 2017 meeting have been submitted for approval. Are there any additions or corrections to the meeting minutes? There being no corrections, the minutes stand approved as printed. There are no general business items to discuss this evening, and there are no report items to discuss this evening. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Next, we'll move to petitions and communications. This is a time when anyone may address the Commission regarding items that are not listed as public hearings on tonight's agenda. The public hearings scheduled for tonight's agenda are Old Town Commons Townhomes, LUTEC Facility, and Little Seeds Academy. Additionally, we ask that you hold comments you may have regarding any application that has been filed with the City or is likely to be filed with the City until the public hearing on those items, where we will welcome your comments. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the Commission regarding anything else? Seeing none, we'll move to public hearings. At this time, I'd like to explain the procedure for public hearings. The applicant will be given the opportunity to make a presentation. After the presentation, I will ask those in favor of the applicant to speak, then those in opposition to speak. The applicant will then be given an opportunity for rebuttal. After all the testimony has been heard, the public input portion of the hearing will be closed and questions will be taken from the Planning Commission. I would now like to swear in anyone that wishes to speak in any public hearing matter before this Commission this evening. Please rise, raise your right hand, and I will swear you all in now. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in matters before this Commission is the truth and nothing but the truth? If so, please answer, I do. Thank you. The public hearings on tonight's agenda include Old Town Commons Townhomes, LUTEC Facility, and Little Seeds Academy. We'll start with Old Town Commons Townhome. I believe the applicant has requested more time, so we will need a motion to vacate this from the agenda. Mr. Owens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that we vacate Z2016-006 and PDP 2016-0012 Old Town Commons rezoning and preliminary development plan.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. Is there any discussion of the motion? Seeing none, Commissioners, please cast your votes. The votes are all in favor. The motion carries. The next item on the agenda is LUTEC Facility Access Easement. Applicant ZP Architects Engineers, location 5325 Zenon Street. Staff, are there any posting or notification requirements?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there are both posting and mailing requirements. We have both the affidavit and the posting log indicating that those have been satisfied.
Wonderful. Are there any additions or corrections to the staff report?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The staff report, posting log, and affidavit of mailing are made a permanent part of the record. Staff going to make a presentation?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
The request before us tonight is to vacate an emergency access and ingress-egress easement on Lot 5A of the Arvada Energy Center Amendment Number 2 subdivision. The subdivision was platted in 2005 along with a preliminary development plan which anticipated construction of 2 buildings on the lot, and so they established this easement to provide public access. The concept has now changed, and this easement would interfere with the location of the new building and is no longer necessary. The easement did not benefit anyone other than this particular property and doesn't have any impact on the adjacent owners. So staff has reviewed this for conformance with the criteria in the Land Development Code, and we are supporting recommendation.
Thank you. Is there a representative of the applicant present?
I am, but Cheryl just did everything I was going to say.
Okay. Well, would you please give us...
My name is Jeannie Fielding with ZP Architects Engineers. I'm here representing Lutech.
Could you give us your address?
My business address is 2727 Bryant Street, Suite 610, Denver, 80211. And I'm here representing Lutech, commercial window coverings and solar controls. They're a local business and looking to build their new facility on this parcel and the adjacent parcel. And so when we started putting our building on the site, we said, oh, what is this? So we want to get rid of this. And Cheryl pretty much went through the criteria. It's historically there from some previous proposed development, we think. Nobody really knows why. And so we're just cleaning up the property.
All right, thank you.
I don't know if there's any questions or...
Well, we'll take public comments, if any, and then we'll see if the planning commissioners have questions. So I'll now open the hearing for comments from the public. Is there anyone that wishes to speak in favor of the application? Is there anyone that wishes to speak in opposition to the application? Seeing none, I don't believe we require a rebuttal. So I'll close the public comments, and I'll open for questions from the Planning Commission. And I'll start with one quick one. This is for staff. So given that this is an emergency access easement, the report says that neither Arvada PD nor Arvada Fire Protection District had any issues with the vacation?
That is correct.
Thank you. Well, seeing no... Mr. Goff. Oh, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll make a motion that VAC 2017-0002 Lutech facility vacating emergency access and ingress-egress easement on Lot 5A, Arvada Energy Center Amendment Number 2, located at 5325 Zenon Street, be recommended to City Council for approval. This motion is based on the findings of fact and approval criteria on page 4 of the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Goff. Are there any discussion of the motion? Seeing none, commissioners, please cast your votes. The votes are 5 in favor, none against. The motion carries. Please be sure to speak with staff as to when this item will be going before City Council. Thank you for your participation. The next item on the agenda is Little Seeds Academy conditional use permit. Applicant is Tracy Paul, 5939 West 64th Avenue. Staff, are there any posting or notification requirements?
Yes, there are. The applicant has posted and mailed, and we have signed and notarized affidavit with the applicant's file.
Thank you. Are there any additions or corrections to the staff report?
No, there are not.
Thank you. The staff report, posting log, and affidavit of mailing are made a permanent part of the record. Staff, would you like to begin?
The applicant, Tracy Paul, is requesting approval of a conditional use permit for a daycare center. The proposed daycare center is located at 5939 West 64th Avenue between Harlan and Gray Street. The existing building has been used as a child care and educational facility since its construction in 1953. The applicant is proposing no alterations to the site and will continue to use the property for child care services. The subject property is zoned residential low density, and the Land Development Code classifies daycare centers as a conditional use for this particular zoning district. Additionally, since the previous daycare center has been inactive for longer than a year, the previous conditional use permit is considered null and void. Seeing as the applicant is proposing no changes to the existing site and will not increase the intensity of the land use, staff presents this case with a recommendation of approval to the Planning Commission with the following condition. Based on the existing number of parking spaces, the applicant shall limit the number of employees to 10 in order to preserve spaces for customers, visitors, and parents.
Thank you. Would you please state your name and address for the record?
Yeah, my name is Tracy Paul, here representing Little Seeds Academy, address 5939 West 64, obviously.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
You may proceed.
I guess we've done our neighborhood meeting, got really good feedback, posted the sign as said, documented that every day that the sign was good. Yeah, we're just here hoping to get our use of the permit back.
All right, thank you. I'll now open the hearing for comments from the public. Is there anyone that wishes to speak in favor of the application? Is there anyone that wishes to speak in opposition to the application? Seeing none, I don't think we require a rebuttal. So I'll close the public comments portion of the hearing and open it to questions from the planning commissioners. Mr. Owens.
Mr. Paul, how many employees do you currently, or do you expect to have?
We expect to have at full capacity roughly 8 full-time and 2 part-time.
So you don't see the condition that you have no more than 10 employees onerous to your business?
No, and actually I think the 2 that would be part-time would be off and on, so there would be less than probably 10 at a time. I'm guessing 9.
And the staff recommendation has a condition that says you'll have no more than 10 employees. Does that mean simultaneous employees? I guess I need to ask staff. Does that mean working at one time or totally employed by the business?
That's correct. So we would make that recommendation of 10 parking spaces for full capacity if 10 employees were to be there all at once.
Very good, thank you.
One quick question, Mr. Paul. How long has the conditional use permit been how long has the business been inactive?
I can't really answer that, but I believe it's been close to 2 years.
Okay.
So we actually purchased the building with all of the old daycare things in it. So I
Okay.
I don't know.
So you didn't operate it prior to
No,
that? Okay.
No.
All right, thank you. Are there any other questions from the planning commissioners? And seeing none, do I have a motion? Mr. Hannan?
Oh, one question before. Is there a way to word the condition so that it's clear that if they have 11 employees, but only 8 of them are at work, they're still within?
We could potentially do that. The purpose behind this was to, in the event that all employees were needed on hand, that we could still leave spots reserved for visitors and parents. But if need be to go higher, that's something we could look into.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think we need to distinguish between
Right.
total number of employees and number of employees on site. So somehow that we can adjust that motion slightly, or that condition slightly, I think that would be, because again, to fill 8 positions with shifts and everything else, you're likely going to have more than that, but then we just want to make sure it's clear.
And I'll do that when I do the motion.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hannan. You may go ahead.
And so I move that CUP 2017-0001, Little Seeds Academy conditional use permit to allow for a daycare use, 5939 West 64th Avenue, be recommended to City Council for approval, subject to the conditions stated on the staff report in page 7. And that condition should read, the applicant shall limit the number of employees on site to 10 based on existing parking. This motion is based on the findings of fact and approval criteria on page 5 and 6 of the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Hannan. Is there any discussion of the motion? Seeing none, Commissioners, please cast your votes. The votes are 5 in favor, none against. The motion carries. Does the conditional use permit go to City Council? It does. Then please speak with staff about when this will go to City Council, and we thank you for your participation this evening. Staff, are there any other items to consider this evening?
Yes, your next meeting will be on May 2nd, and that will be a workshop. We will have 3 new members at that time, so we thought we'd get everybody together and just do a refresher and training all at the same time. And that meeting will be upstairs on the 3rd floor in the CCR City Council room, and that'll start at 5:30. And I believe Joni wanted to add something as well?
I just wanted to say, for the record, that, and I'm sorry that Brandy's not here, because I wanted to say, oh, now I'm going to get all choked up. I just wanted to say thank you for being a part of this commission for so long, and I've enjoyed working with you.
Joni?
And John's going to be recognized on June 5th. I'll send out an email. He's going to be recognized on June 5th at 6 o'clock. So I'll send an email for anyone who would like to attend that. So thank you, John.
Well, thank you, Joni. 10 years went very fast. And I just want to thank all the staff, Randall and Joni especially, who have been here since I started way back in 2007. So I appreciate all your help, all your guidance, and I've enjoyed every moment that I've been here. So thank you very much. Patricia?
You made the job on my part very easy, John.
Thank you.
For my part, I'd like to thank the persons who are leaving. Thank you for your professionalism and your leadership and your organization to follow through the Planning Commission and your leadership.
Well, thank you. Mr. Goff?
I'll second it, what Patricia said. And thank you. Your mentorship and leadership has been very much appreciated as well. So yeah, I think we're going to greatly miss you on this commission. So thank you.
David, thank you.
And as a brand-new retiree who had never been able to do anything with government because of the Hatch Act, you were a wonderful help when I started a couple of years ago, and I'm deeply indebted for your great guidance.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. If there are no other items, then we are adjourned.